What's going on, guys? We're going to be ranking the best Bangkok neighborhoods to live in according to a Western foreigner who's lived here for the past 4 years. So let's go ahead and begin. Starting off with Asok. It's going to be very busy, very central, a lot of foreigners, a lot of transportation hubs, and it's very, very busy, very kind of hectic, very hustle bustle. I'm going to say it's going to be in the B tier because it's in a very good location, but it is just very, very busy. There's a lot of tourists. I think there's like a lot of pollution, a lot of traffic there, and it's just a little bit too hectic for me. Next up is Phrom Phong. I'm going to give this an A tier simply because it's similar to Asok, but it's just a little bit more refined in my opinion. You have better shopping, you have better bars and places to go and things to do, and it's very busy, but it's just not as busy as Asok in my opinion. If you live in Phrom Phong, there's no way you can be bored. Nana. Oh man, this might be a controversial one, but I'm gonna do D because there's simply nothing to do in Nana except for the red light district. Next up is Thonglor. This is actually the neighborhood that I live in, and I'm gonna say this is the first S tier category simply because it's very chic, it's very upscale, it's not very touristy, it's pretty chill, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot of nice restaurants, bars, they have some shopping areas there, and it just feels a bit classy, a bit chic, very cosmopolitan crowd there, very high-so. So I'm gonna say it's an S tier because you have the best of both worlds. You have access to Western amenities and Western places, you have access to Thai places. It's just very chill, very upscale, very nice neighborhood to live in. Chidlom. Chidlom is going to be one of the more high-end neighborhoods. You have a lot of high-end shopping, a lot of luxury condos and malls, and it's a bit quieter, but it's also central. So I'm going to give Chidlom an A tier. Next up is Phra Khanong. Now this is a very popular neighborhood amongst Western foreigner teachers here. They have the popular W district. Now, I don't think that there's much else to do besides going to the W district. They have some good restaurants over there, but it's not really much to do. So I'm gonna give it a C tier. Next up is Ari. Now, Ari is a very trendy, very niche, kind of very quiet neighborhood that's very, very chill, very serene, very beautiful, very local kind of feeling. So I'm gonna give Ari an A. A lot of foreigners do not know about this neighborhood. I think if you want to take a break from like the hustle of the Sukhumvit Road, you can go to Ari and get a nice chill kind of local experience, have some really good food and some nice cozy bars and just places to go, a lot of nice hotels. I think Ari is definitely a very, very good neighborhood. Next up is Khaosan. Now, a lot of foreigners make the mistake of booking a place in Khaosan because they think it's like in the center or something, but that is the opposite from true. The only thing in Khaosan is the Khaosan Road, which is a huge party street, the most infamous, notorious party street in Bangkok. And that's why I'm gonna give it a D. It's nice to party at, it's nice to go crazy and get drinks with your friends and kind of go crazy, but to live there, I don't understand why anybody would try to live in a place like Khaosan. I think it's way too crazy. Next up is Rama 9. Now, Rama 9, it does have good shopping, does have the famous Job Fairs night market, does have really good food, it has the MRT there, it also has the railway link that links directly to the Sukhumvit airport. But the traffic there is insane. If you get locked up in that intersection, you'll literally be waiting like 10 to 20 minutes, and there's a lot of tourists. There's a lot of nice condos though, but I think because of the traffic, it's gotta be probably right under Asok, so I'm going to give it a C tier. Now that's a controversial one. Ploenchit. Ploenchit is very similar to Chidlom, actually right next to Chidlom. It's very high-end, very luxurious, very ultra-developed, one of the richest and most expensive neighborhoods in Bangkok. Ploenchit is known to have all the embassies there, so all the international embassies, they're based there, so it's very high-end, kind of a wealthy neighborhood. And I actually lived in Ploenchit for a good year, and I did enjoy my time there. However, I just didn't find that there was that many good restaurants to go to besides going to like the Central Embassy Mall. I didn't really feel like a local experience. I didn't see much street food. It seems very, very refined and kind of ultra polished. I wouldn't say it's pretentious, but I'd say it's just very like, I've never been to Singapore, but I kind of imagine it to be Singapore vibes, as in just super, super polished. But I did enjoy my time living there, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. Next up is Punnawithi. Now, a lot of you guys might not even know of Punnawithi. It's a very up and coming, trendy neighborhood right now. It has the famous co-working space, the True Digital Park, and it just has a very nice rural feeling. You'll hardly see any foreigners out there. I think it's just a very chill, very quiet neighborhood. And it's on the Sukhumvit line, so you still have the BTS there. So it's not far from like Thonglor and the other BTS routes. I actually really like Punnawithi. I'm gonna give it a B. Next up is Siam. Now Siam is probably the most famous neighborhood for its shopping. It has all of these luxury malls and it's very youthful, I think. I think you'll see a lot of like younger crowd out there, like college age students. I feel like there's always events going on. There's always a youthful crowd, very cosmopolitan crowd. It just kind of has this like fresh, kind of youthful energy, and you're surrounded by the luxury buildings, luxury condos, luxury shopping. However, I think the main thing that Siam has to offer is shopping, and I don't really think that there's much else besides the shopping. I don't think it deserves a C. I'm gonna have to give it a B. Next up is Chinatown. Now I think anybody who visits Bangkok for the first time, they have to visit Chinatown. It just has some of the best food, some of the best street food. And it's just very vibrant, all the neon lights and the kind of hustle bustle of the road. And it has a really nice, rich cultural heritage. However, there is an insane amount of people there. Most of them are tourists. You're very packed and you're going to be rubbing elbows with a lot of people. There's a lot of smog, a lot of pollution as the traffic is driving literally right through Chinatown. So as a place to visit, I'd give it an S tier, but as a place to live, I'm honestly going to give it a C tier. Just because personally, I wouldn't want to be surrounded by tourists every single day and have to squeeze through all these people. I think it's a bit too hectic. Next up is Sathorn, which is Bangkok's main central business district. It's got a lot of high-end luxury buildings, offices, corporate offices. And just like Ploenchit, it's very refined, very upscale, very hyper-developed in my opinion. I don't think it's a place to hang out and a lot of things to do in my opinion. So this might be a controversial one. I'm gonna give it a C. Finally, we have Ekkamai. I think Ekkamai is a very fresh, very chic, a lot of nice bars and nightlife and restaurants and very cozy, kind of Thai feeling. It's not too busy with foreigners and tourists. And it's just a nice place to hang out, get a drink, get some good food. I think you cannot go wrong with visiting or living in Ekkamai. It's actually one of the neighborhoods that I lived in for a good year, and I had a very good time there. So I'm gonna give it an A tier. Now, these are all of my rankings. Now, this is just my opinion, so it's going to be a bit biased, and hopefully this ranking was not too controversial. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this list or not. Follow me on Instagram, and if you want to learn how to become a digital nomad and actually learn how I moved here to Thailand and how I make money remotely, then join my membership down in the description, and I'll see you soon.